Hey, it's Nadia with Empower Counseling. Today I want to talk about the spoon theory. So we're going to talk about who is included in this theory, how and why it was created, what the theory includes, why it's important, and then end on the high note of how to manage your spoons. So the spoon theory really covers anybody that has some sort of invisible disability or some type of disability that results in less energy on a daily basis. So it can include a wide variety of autoimmune diseases such as lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis, and a number of others that impair one's activities of daily living. It can also include chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and severe and persistent mental illnesses such as major depressive disorder, autism, severe social anxiety, agoraphobia, and again, a number of others. And so one way to really think about the life of a spoonie is dealing with the invisible disability is like having a second full-time job. So on top of the job you already have, you have to spend an equal amount of time thinking about your energy, planning your day, and it's very, very exhausting. So they're doubly exhausted. So the theory was created by a woman who has lupus after her friend asked her what lupus feels like. So they were at a restaurant and, the friend asked, and so she tried to explain it verbally, just using, her subjective experience as an explanation, and found that her friend was really struggling grasping the concept and the experience of lupus. So she had this very brilliant idea where she grabbed silverware from her table and other tables and ultimately came up with 12 spoons, handed her friend the spoons and said, "Here, you have lupus." So what they did is she had her friend walk her through the activities of her day, and she had to redirect her quite a bit to make sure she was thinking in terms of a spoonie. So one thing that's really important to point out is somebody that is fully abled doesn't really think about where their energy goes because they have an endless surplus of energy. Whereas a spoonie has a very limited, fixed per that day amount of energy that is going to have to cover their entire day. They have to ration their energy. So for example, the friend said, "Okay, well, I get up and get ready for work." And she was like, no, let's break it down. Because somebody with lupus might sleep in or oversleep because they had trouble falling asleep the previous night. They may lay in the bed trying to get their joints to warm up before they actually get up and get ready. They might lay in bed dreading the day. So, spoons can be lost before you even get out of bed. So then her friend said, "Okay, I get in the shower, I take a shower." And she was like, "No, break it down. Because a spoon will be lost for washing your hair. A spoon will be lost for washing your body. Because all of the reaching up and reaching down can really result in some major energy loss." So then the friend was like, "All right, I get dressed." And she said, "No, it's not that easy." So, a spoon could be lost just trying to figure out what to wear. A spoon can be lost sorting through your outfits because maybe you have to wear something that is just pull on because your hands are hurting so bad that you can't maneuver zippers or buttons or any kind of fasteners. Maybe you need to wear something warm because you're running a low-grade fever, which is common of inflammatory diseases. Maybe you have to be very mindful of clothes that are going to cover rashes from an autoimmune disease or bruises that you have from accidentally bumping into things. So those kind of considerations. And so it was found that before the friend actually even left for work, she was already down 6 spoons. So in those 2 hours it took to get ready, she had used half of her energy. So going through the day, a spoon was lost for skipping lunch. A spoon was lost for typing on her computer for too long. Spoons can be lost for many activities that we have to engage in as part of our job duty. So then they moved on to the evening, and by the time her friend got home, she only had one spoon left. So she had to explain you to be very careful here. How are you going to use the spoon? If you cook, you're not going to have any spoons to clean. If you run errands, you're not going to have any spoons to fix a meal. If you want to do something you enjoy, that is your spoon. So it really helped the friend understand what somebody goes through that suffers lupus or some type of invisible disability or something that really impairs their level of energy. So it's a tangible way for someone that doesn't suffer to really understand, because they get to hold it, they get to see it, and they get to experience a lack of control over their energy. The spoons are taken by someone else. So they don't have the option of holding on to them. They don't have the option of getting more. When it's gone, it's gone. So why is this important? Well, it's very important because it's a way to conceptualize pain or conceptualize energy. So it helps a spoonie really plan their day, because they're not always going to wake up with the same amount of spoons. One day you could have 15 spoons, one day you could have 5. It really varies per day. There's a lot of factors that go into it. So being able to analyze the amount of energy that is in the bank or the reserve to use during that day helps with planning the day. It can be a wonderful way to get loved ones, friends, other people to have a deeper understanding of what it's like to be a spoonie. And this can allow them to, be more of a comfort for you, be more helpful and more patient, and just bring your relationship closer together. So you feel an increased support system, a lot of compassion, and more help. It's very important for loved ones or acquaintances or whatever it is of a spoonie to have this knowledge, so they understand that it's not because the spoonie is lazy. It's not because they're bad with time management. There are factors outside of their control that really affect what they can do in a given day and what they can't. So another important factor, by bringing these support networks closer and tighter and more compassionate in general, it reduces the mental and emotional pain that a spoonie experiences, and that kind of helps them reserve energy, because that emotional pain takes away spoons as well. And then finally, it's really helpful for a spoonie to conceptualize their energy in this way, because it can help them break through stubbornness and let other people take over, or taking breaks, stuff like that we're going to talk about here in a minute. So finally, let's talk about how to manage spoons. And so mindfulness is very, very important. So mindfulness allows you to check in on how you're feeling, whether it's emotionally or physically. It allows you to, so you're recognizing, you're acknowledging that it's there, but you're also accepting that it's there. So it's, okay, these are my spoons, how do I make it work? How do I work with it? And then throughout the day, using that mindfulness to check in with yourself and analyzing how much energy you have left at that point of the day can really help you make sure that you're carrying out the tasks that you need to do, or if you need to shift your priorities around to get those more important things done. So mindfulness is just key. So understanding how many spoons you have, checking in on your body to see if you need a break, see if you can actually do the task, just everything that's going on internally. If you're being mindful, you really see it, you accept it, and you maneuver around it. So it's important to always remember that even though you might be banking spoons, so say you got through your day and you still have 3 spoons left, it's like, cool, I'll have it tomorrow. That's not always the case. Those spoons may be gone the next day, and it's important for loved ones to understand this as well. Oh, okay, you had an easy day, so you're going to be able to do more tomorrow. Not always true. It's also important to remember and be aware that any given task is not always going to require the same amount of spoons. So one day it could be, 1 unit of energy or 1 spoon, and then the next is 5 spoons. So invisible disabilities are really mysterious. So they have a mind of their own, and we as people just kind of were along for the ride. So it'll be really important to set strict boundaries for yourself if you're a spoonie. So strict boundaries with terms of being stubborn about tasks you're doing. So it's very common for a spoonie to be very stubborn because they want to do it on their own. It makes them feel proud, have a sense of accomplishment. And so they can be very, very stubborn and not letting people take over and help. So this is great for a loved one of a spoonie to understand as well, knowing that that pride can really get in the way. So if a loved one is noticing that that spoonie is really getting low on their energy, they can just intervene and take over. A very important thing also for a spoonie to ask themselves is, well, if I was fully abled, would I still not want to delegate this task out? The answer is oftentimes going to be, no, I would delegate it. So it's important to make sure that you're being consistent, even though you are now experiencing some sort of disability affecting your fatigue levels. So to reiterate, let people help you. Let them help you. Take a break. Let them take over. And that way you are honoring your amount of energy and giving back to yourself. Other options would be like cooking in advance. So if you have 15 spoons today and you have 5 left, you can meal prep for the rest of the week. So you are already setting yourself up to have more energy for other tasks, hopefully, assuming you're waking up with the same amount of spoons. So being able to cook in advance or do other chores that are going to make your week easier is always a great idea because it helps you manage the spoons in advance. And then of course, doing things you enjoy, whether it is spending time with loved ones or friends, binging on TV, reading, listening to music, yoga, meditation, whatever it is. Remembering to use some of those spoons for those things you enjoy is very important to make sure that you aren't ending up emotionally or mentally burned out as well, which of course is going to make you feel more fatigued and experience more pain if you have chronic pain associated with the invisible disability. So those are just a few things that you can do to manage spoons. There's a variety of things and it might be different for everyone. So another thing to be mindful of in closing is that being a spoonie can also come with depression, frustration, anxiety, anger, and those kinds of things. So if you are somebody that is suffering from those negative emotions associated with a disability, it might really benefit you to talk to a therapist who can help you sort out those emotions, go through the grieving process of, the whole getting a disability and having a new normal in your life, and learning to manage your spoons and use other coping skills to make your life a little bit easier. And so if you are a spoonie and you are in Georgia and you feel that you could really benefit from counseling, you can feel free to give us a call at Empower Counseling at 770-283-8386, or visit our website to meet our therapist, schedule a free consult, or schedule an appointment at empowercounseling.net. So find someone that understands your spoons and can help you really sort them out and manage.